Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a very good question, especially from Monday night. Down to like 13. Let's see what my TV on. Yeah, and I'll be straight. All right, cool. But yeah, man, that Kansas City Chiefs game was something else, man. Like 17 unanswered, man. 17 unanswered. I don't know. Excuse me, not 17 unanswered. Shutout in the second half. Kansas City just shut out. And it's funny how it was the Lions and the Eagles, two of the best teams in the NFC, that both had to come from behind to get their wins. Only difference being, of course, the Eagles had to beat a much better team than the Chiefs versus the Lions at home against a bad Bears team. And that's ridiculous, too, on top of that. That's kind of been the theme. It's like defenses keeping teams in games, keeping close games, whether it be the Browns and the Steelers, where games are very competitive. And I feel like that's going to go through the whole playoffs, really. Like, to the Super Bowl, that's going to be like the big theme. Is the defense had to come up big for a team to win a game. See who we got in the chat. He should have threw it shorter. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, dude, it hit him square in the hands. He had it in everything, and then he just wanted to chuck it when he hit the ground. Michigan to lose Ohio State. Yeah, I heard it. I heard about Jordan Travis. I heard about that. So you got the Lions losing to the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. Why do you say that? I'm curious. So Tommy DeVito and the Giants. I ain't gonna lie, bro. He was doing his thing. I ain't gonna hold you. Tommy DeVito was doing his thing against the Commies. That's the one of the few times I'll give the Giants credit. He did, in fact, do his thing. In fact. That banner, right? Texting me. That's something else. All right, man, you wild. You said DeVito better than Lamar Jackson. I know you wild saying that shit. But no, speaking of Baltimore and Cincy, we had a couple key injuries to both of those teams on Thursday. We know about Joe Burrow being out for the season. Like I said at the beginning of the year, Cincinnati was going to take a step back. And after the Browns win against the Steelers, I'm a little bit more convinced they might fuck around and make a playoff spot. Especially when you look at how the Chargers blew yet another lead, lost another game they shouldn't have lost to the Packers. So it's clear that the Chargers are pretty much done. The Jets are done. I don't know if people had any hope they'd make the Super Bowl or anything. And they moved on from Zach Wilson. So with the Ravens, the only downside is Mark Andrews likely out for the year. And that's Lamar's security blanket, but it's not as bad as in years past. Like if this was like a year ago or 2 or 3 years ago when this happened, the Ravens would be screwed. Now that they have like Zay Flowers, Odell here and there, they got that running game. They fine. It's not a big deal. Isaiah Likely. So it's not a big deal. But the Bengals, yeah, you can't come back from that. You lost Joe Burrow, your franchise quarterback, the face of the team. Oh, nah. Nah, y'all done. At least until next year. To everyone in chat, G's. That's funny. Says so injuries don't matter. Of course, injuries factor into things too. You gotta remember some of these injuries though, like they bullshitting. Like how fishy the stories be. Like honestly, this Joe Burrow story sounded fishy as hell. And there was claims from I think somebody close to the Ravens that said that they, and other players too, said that they lied about a lot of shit and he faked the injury and all this stuff. And this is from like other players, and they let that story out. But sometimes you could just you can tell, like, if you lose your starting quarterback, he's the whole face of the team. Chances are, unless they have a Josh Dobbs storyline, they ain't gonna do shit. Like, they're not making a storyline for Jake Browning to save the Bengals. They're done. Especially in that division, you see you lose your starting quarterback. You have the Ravens doing good. The Steelers are, 6-4. The Browns got that tough win. Yeah, this shit, you're done. Point blank, period. What up, Scrub Zero? The Eagles are bait for whoever's having them go to the Super Bowl. I agree with you on that. I 100% agree. What up in there, man? Bronze Flat Power Guy, what's good? Man, I know you hype about Tommy DeVito. Say he was throwing dimes. I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was against the commies, but I mean, it was cool, I guess. He's saying then the Giants lose this week. So what's the Broncos role? Because they look like they was done, and now they got hot. Russ got to cooking, making come from behind wins and shit, come from behind drives. They could either be spoiler or they might steal a spot. We'll just have to see. Appreciated David Zamora. That's a name right there, David Zamora. Sound like a famous person. Chargers wide receiver dropped the ball. Yeah, indeed he did. Because those are the Chargers find ways to lose games. Like, that's their whole MO. Giants find a way to win against the commies. We still think the Blue Bums are the worst team in the league. Let me see who the worst team. Carolina. I say the Panthers the worst team. Let's see, talk about that. But easily Carolina, the way they keep shifting play calling duties from this person to that person, stunting the hell out of Bryce Young's growth. Like, the Panthers are the team. They need to get their shit together. Rodgers coming back or no? I say he does. But like I said, the Jets weren't going to make the playoffs. Lions lost 16 out of 19 on Thanksgiving. Come around the Browns. And there's really another point I was thinking about when we did the pregame pick'em on Thursday was when Derek had brought up they could do this in spite of Deshaun Watson. Kind of like saying we don't really need to give him all this guaranteed money and be the guy. We can still make it despite him because of our defense. So the Saints going to beat the Falcons. I don't have any high hopes for the Saints, period, dude. Like, seriously, they did with Derek Carr or Jameis Winston. It don't matter who the quarterback is. You heard Justin Jeff going to the Bengals next year and T. Higgins to Jacksonville. We'll see when it does happen. DeVito had the best game for a Giants quarterback this year. That's not saying much. Yeah, that's sad when your third string is doing this. Andrews could come back if they make a deep playoff run. Yeah, I heard, if it was like regular season, that's out of the picture. Do I think the Texans finally lose to some real talent? Let me see their schedule. So, I mean, they did beat the Bengals not too long ago, so it's not like they haven't been playing good teams. But it'll be interesting. They play the Jags this weekend, so that's going to be a good game. You know, Trevor Lawrence, he got hot. He finally decided to wake up and ball out on niggas. Suddenly. Just magic. Let's see. They had wins against the Bengals, Cards, Buccaneers in a shootout. Lost to the Panthers, beat the Saints. Lost to the Falcons. Beat the dog shit out the Steelers. Beat the Jags. But lost to the Ravens and the Colts. So they've got some solid wins. But this Jacksonville game, I think they're going to split. So since Houston won the first one, I think Jacksonville gonna win the second one. Oh, Hutchinson, your nephew room with them in Michigan. There was a steroid issue, but they didn't nail. Of course they not. I mean, that's not a shock. I get like Bill Romanowski vibes from a little bit. Like he ain't doing weird, like no wild shit on the sideline, but that's the kind of vibe I get from him. Shout out to the Wall Chargers choking away another game. Yeah, knock that off the list. What else? Steelers. Steelers moved on from offensive coordinator Matt Canada. They finally fired him. So we'll see if they actually do anything with that 6-4 record, if they can keep it going, which I think they will. Call that man Derek Vehicle. He said concussion car. Nah, man, that's literally his whole career. Everywhere he goes, well, he's been 2 teams. Always injury prone. And it was like the one year he could have been MVP, he had the leg injury. That one kind of sucked, I ain't gonna lie. But every year it's always something. It's him crying after a game, where they win or lose. Him always hurt. He said, start Winston. Yes, sir. What's good, Realist Talk? So you amazed the Steelers won 6 of 10 with that. But again, the theme of this year has been defense. Defense winning games. I feel like that's going to be defense wins championships whenever the Super Bowl concludes and they got the confetti flying. But yeah, if you got a good defense, the Browns have showed that. If you got a good defense, and even if you have a rookie quarterback from the 5th round or a quarterback who came from the XFL, you can still win games. That's a weird metric to compare someone for being better than the other. Like, I'm not going to go with a QB sneak, essentially, to justify which quarterback's better than the other. I'm just not going to do that. And then also, again, who landed in what kind of situation? Like Cam Newton. He was on some decent, Carolina Panthers teams. Of course, went to the Super Bowl. But there's a lot of them teams where like he ain't have shit to throw to. Or Christian McCaffrey's hurt. And it kind of was like that for Jalen Hurts to start out, and then they started putting weapons around him, and then we see what we saw last year and what we see in this year. Says the new Cam Newton. I say Jalen do remind me of him. Like, even like the way they wear their uniforms and all that shit, like it, in the fact they both wore number 1. It is, I do see the similarities. The only thing different is, Cam went to Auburn, Jalen went to Bama, and Oklahoma. Well, let's see. Raiders, 2-game winning streak snapped by the Dolphins. Jalen Ramsey saved the game for him. And like I said, that was gonna be over with soon anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like the Vegas story, that wasn't gonna carry on too long. You niggas didn't see the script for the Eagles beating the Chiefs. They losing on the Bills will beat Eagles, and Eagles will beat Niners. We'll have to see if all that shit plays out. But let's see. That game again, Philly rigged versus Kansas City. Yeah, that's why they put in the regular season, because it's not gonna be a rematch in the Super Bowl. And it turned out Taylor Swift was not there, so that could be easily narrative that the media can push. Yeah, we've heard about the colors of the Super Bowl logo and all that. I still think that could be bait, though. That could be bait because there's too many people saying that shit. Players NFL is a robot and actor what? What? I honestly don't know what you're saying. Unless you're trying to say they robots or some shit. See, Cowboys, Niners handle business. No shock there. Oh, yeah, about Detroit. David Montgomery scored against his former team, and they made it a point to interview him for obvious reasons. Try to get that emotional interview. They don't follow the psyop. Yeah, they've done it for what, the last 2 years? Yeah, I doubt they do it a third time in a row. It's like how they did the back-to-back home team hosting the Super Bowl thing. They weren't gonna do that shit a third time in a row because they would know people are starting to catch on. Okay, man. Situation Vikings. What? Is that a typo? Like what? I don't know. I don't know. Say Baltimore versus Detroit, Jacksonville versus Minnesota, Kansas City versus Minnesota. Possible Super Bowl matchups. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. I don't see the the Lions going to the Super Bowl but making a deep run for sure. And I would be thoroughly disappointed if they don't play the Eagles en route to, whether it be for the not the championship, but like divisional or something. They need to make that matchup happen. Get the two best NFC teams to go head to head at some point. What up, Witchy? What's good, man? Man, it's an ovary massager. If Dobbs wins Minnesota, I don't know what you're saying. Be something if the colors are for the Vikings and the Chiefs. Yeah, the thing about the Chiefs this year has been they lack of offense. And then we know the Vikings storyline now is the Josh Dobbs story. Like, it's crazy how their story started off as they really weren't doing shit to start the year. Kirk Cousins was putting up numbers, but they were still losing games. Then Kirk Cousins gets hot. They start winning games. Then he gets injured. Seems like the season is over with. They were talking about trading him and shit early in the year. Then they get Josh Dobbs. And just like that, they back in contention. What up? I hate Lakers. What's good with you? The Vikings and Chiefs aren't going. Again, we got to let that shit play out. The rematch, I don't see a rematch. Eagles Lions in NFC title game would be dope. Hell yeah, that shit would be dope, dude. I'd love to see that shit. But you know, the league, sometimes they'll give you some shit you don't want to see. Like, let's give them the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chiefs for like the third goddamn time. Like, we don't want to see that. Usher born in Dallas, Texas. Boys going. Ready for that Super Bowl Christmas photo. Super Bowl matchup like always, dude. They know we're catching on. You don't be surprised they don't show it at all. I think they showed one last year. I want to say they did. Yeah, that's going to be a common thing. Whether it be basketball, football, shit, probably March Madness, they going to have a quote-unquote leak script. Of course, it's going to throw people off. Some people going to automatically assume it's real and shit like that. If Dobbs win the Super Bowl for the Vikings, Kirk Cousins is gone either way. That's a big if, man. Super huge if. Yeah, I just saw a report that he said he won't be back until he's fully healthy. So they ain't trying to rush this nigga back because they still winning games. I don't know what that means. I don't know what T-Broom means. He didn't really let it slip. He said it and he meant what he said. It wasn't he let anything slip. It wasn't like in the NBA when they had the who was it? The Sixers and the Sixers and the Hawks were still playing, and they showed the bracket that had Atlanta versus Milwaukee before the Sixers Hawks series was even over with. That's a slip. What Tony Romo said then, that was not a slip. It wasn't like he tried to correct himself or anything. So yeah, that's not a slip. I mean, I'm sure there's a commercial or two that's probably hinted at it already. State Farm Bowl, Rodgers and Mahomes. Yeah, they screwed people with that one. That would have been a better matchup, to be honest, but yeah. So which network has Super Bowl? It is CBS. Which is ironic, though, speaking of the Niners and the Ravens. Those were the last Super Bowl they had where they matched up. That was a CBS matchup. Only difference is they was in New Orleans and not Las Vegas. Do I think that Matt Canada's absence can help the Steelers get better on offense? Yeah, I think they will. I think it'll be gradual. It won't be just like a overnight thing. It won't be like how Josh Dobbs gets to the Vikings and all of a sudden they just switch gears like that. But yeah, I think they'll be straight. They'll still win ugly games with the defense got to win games and shit, but they'll be straight. Bro, if Cowboys fans will look for anything, man, to say their team going to the Super Bowl, anything, the Jimmy Johnson streak, it don't matter what it is, bro. Like, your team not going, bro. But Cowboys can go to the Super Bowl because it's been 20 years since they made one. Texas 28 state ushers from Dallas. This what gets my telling Chiefs for Dallas, Texas. They're not going. They're just not going. I told you what it would take for them to go. It involves Jerry Jones. No doubt they don't want Mahomes to win this year. I wouldn't say that. Because I always think of that New England Patriots team that lost to the Chiefs on Monday Night Football in like embarrassing fashion. And it seemed like all hope was lost for the Patriots and like the dynasty. They was like questioning, is the dynasty over? And it turned out, no, it wasn't. They ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. Because their main thing is if their offense is constantly having issues all season, then that's a bigger sign that that Super Bowl run ain't going to happen. But if that offense magically gets good out of nowhere, different conversation. Yeah, he did. Aaron Rodgers did say that. Niners and Saints what? Not no Super Bowl. Saying he won every matchup, called the media bullshit. I didn't even hear that narrative that he beat his former team every single time. I didn't even know that. I thought they had lost at least once. But I guess then again, they ain't going to play that much because they're in different conferences. Do they have Israel connections? Would the NBA let the Nuggets go back to back this year? I don't think so. They'll be good, but I don't think so. Texas Rangers one was it? They did. And the Cowboys still won't go to the Super Bowl. Astros won the World Series a few times. Cowboys ain't done shit. Rockets ain't done shit. Texans ain't done shit. So they're not going. Just let it go. They're not going. Yeah, it was like 20. I think it was 2020. It had to be 2020, or maybe 2021. I don't fucking remember, but yeah, they're not going. Do I think Georgia loses here? I think they will. They will lose this year. Said 9-18 Rodgers will be back this year. Falcons have a chance to clinch the playoffs. Yeah, they got a weak ass division. Said 2021. This nigga don't forget shit. Only $235 from tickets. That's not bad. Sat next to commies fans. They left us. We got our second pick. Damn, that's got to be rough being a commies fan too. See anything for the Browns Super Bowl? No. The all black quarterbacks. The league hates the Browns. They're not giving Deshaun Watson a ring, even if it was despite him that they didn't need him. But no. Exactly. That's why they get all these primetime games. That's the trade-off. Is the Cowboys every year gonna have half their schedule gonna be primetime games, and then the other half is gonna be obviously regular games, and then a divisional playoff appearance, and then they lose in like dramatic ass fashion on something that's always heartbreaking. Dez Bryant, the year they played the Niners, last year, like it's always gonna be something to get the Cowboys fans riled up, get hyped up, and then get their hearts ripped out at the end of the year. Every single year. This year's not gonna be any different. A chance that the Buffalo Bills and Vikings, because red is technically one of the Bills' colors. Nah, but the Bills might have saved their season if they keep winning games like they doing. Granted, it was the Jets who were terrible, but since they got rid of offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey, if they keep winning games, they keep pushing this narrative. You fire your OC, and your offense gets better. They might be cooking with something, but like I said, they can still make the playoffs. Don't get it twisted. Won every matchup against the Eagles. Damn, $6 for water? Shit, that's crazy. That's kind of how it is at a Tennessee game. Actually, no, they'll charge your ass like $13 for like a Bud Light. Super Bowl Browns plans. Yeah, I get it, but no, the Browns ain't winning. And that's a stretch with that shit. So Dak sacrificed his brother. He has to go to the Super Bowl, but won't win it. You've ever seen the 104th Super Bowl season commercial where they said Super Bowl will have memes. Cowboys are the meme. He allegedly sacrificed his brother for his contract, not a Super Bowl appearance. Exactly. You having the table, nice playoffs, but sure rigged and scripted. Of course, it's not his fault, but they have to make a scapegoat somehow. Suddenly, they do better on offense, and stop doing dumb shit like Josh Allen throwing the ball across the field to a cornerback, missing his whole wide receiver, no receiver in the sight. Like that pick he threw in the New York game in week 1, that shit was bad, dude. Like a 60-yard INT. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing, Josh? I still think the Chiefs are gonna win. My only worry is the Justin Ross thing, because they're kind of quiet about it, but it's still, when you have a player on your team that's in trouble with the law, and this shit got upgraded to a felony. That's why I'm a little worried. A little bit worried. If not them, I could still see San Francisco. Did Jim Brown die? Yeah, I know he died. John Madden died, but the Raiders didn't win shit. But Kobe had, after winning against the Steelers, sometimes your Kobe rituals cooking for the Browns. I don't know why I thought Jim Brown died years ago. Job's not finished. Okay. The Dallas pattern don't lie though, but you won't be surprised if the Cowboys don't make it again. You think it's for the Chiefs to win it all again because they're originally with the Dallas Texans. Oh, you talking about the Browns? The Browns played in week 2 and 11. Yeah, they sure did. Notice that the Chiefs were up by 10 at halftime and lost, just like the Eagles were up by 10 at halftime in the Super Bowl and lost. Yeah, they mocking people with that one. And it's crazy they did it in Kansas City, which you know is usually known as a tough place to win. Detroit is 322 years old, like Skull and Bones. 2024 is the Super Bowl. Okay. Thought it'd be Dolphins and Niners connect to Maui, but ever since the Israel war, think it'd be connected in some way to Israel. I haven't necessarily written off that Dolphins-Niners matchup. We'll just have to see how it goes, but because there's a lot of storylines that go around that with the Dolphins and the Niners. Considering, you know, Mike McDaniel used to coach with, can't even think of his name, Shanahan and all that stuff. So, and there's players on the Dolphins team that used to play for the Niners. So, a lot of shit like that. To Dallas connection for Amari Cooper and Watson played for the Texans. Chiefs old. Nah, bro. Falcons are starting Ritter again. Does that diminish their playoff hopes? A little bit it does. A little bit it does. Depends. Can they use Bijan Robinson right? And can things go their fucking way? Did that. Damn. Anything else? Yeah, I forgot the Rams won too. They won off that hooked field goal miss by Myers for the Seahawks. And I'm thinking, bro, SoFi Stadium is an indoor facility. Why the ball hooking like that? I'm just saying. Why hooking like that? To Ravens, Lions. Could be Lions, Browns. No, the league ain't crazy. They not doing that. I can promise Detroit and Cleveland, they are not doing that shit. We can dead that now. They ain't doing that. Said Chiefs and Vikings. Technically, they both do have a chance. So Ravens are the new Browns. Ravens too obvious. He said Lions to the Super Bowl. I know you've been saying that, man. You've been saying that Lions to the Super Bowl. And someone pointed out they have the draft there next year in Detroit. That's crazy. It's in Detroit. But the draft in Detroit. Yeah, Desmond Ritter. He bad. I know. It's bad. I should perform halftime show when Packers won the Super Bowl in Dallas. McCarthy, head coach for the Packers. The Cowboys ain't winning, bro. Chiefs Lions Super Bowl would be hilarious because it was the first game of the season. It's kind of like how they made it come full circle last year, where the Chiefs started the season at State Farm Field, or whatever they call it, State Farm in Arizona, damn it, and finished the season and wrapped it up at that same stadium. That would be wild, though. You see Eagles and Lions. Eagles versus Lions, or Niners versus Lions in the NFC Championship game. I do agree with that. I hope that's what it is. They better not give us some bullshit. The Usher got ownership in the Cavs. Yeah, I remember that. 50-yard field goal, too. He had no chance of winning in SoFi. Yeah, as soon as that shit, like, it looked like for a second it was going to go, and then it was like, nah. Last minute, we not letting that happen. Finna lose this game. Said Dallas ain't going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, it is in Detroit. Okay. Said, nah, that nigga named Kyle. Be no Desmond. Also, the Browns have a weird correlation as well. Nick Chubb, number 24, tears ACL. The second game of the season. Sean Watson has season-ending surgery. Well, they're 6-3, 3 sixes. Say Niners are Alliance for Skull and Bones. Okay. So y'all definitely should draft a quarterback. Yeah, y'all need to. Y'all need to. Y'all do. Shit, the Jets, they need to think about getting a quarterback too, like drafting one. I mean, you ain't gonna have Aaron Rodgers for that long, and it's clear your backup plan ain't panning out. Like he's terrible. But now it's not going because they lost to Kirk Cousins. Whoever loses to Kirk Cousins doesn't go to the Super Bowl. We will see. We'll never talk about the magnetic catch in Super Bowl 51. 51. I don't even remember what Super Bowl that was. What's the matchup, man? 51. Oh, the 28-3 game. Okay. 28-3 game. Oh, where Edelman. I'm talking when Edelman was like squirmed all over the field and shit and caught that motherfucker. Ford family doesn't want a Super Bowl. Lions chance for a Super Bowl got assassinated when the Fords bought the team. They got the same day of the Kennedy assassination. Sadly, I agree with that. Said Jerry Jones is the curse. Desmond said it. That's funny. Shout out to Desmond Dixon. He ain't rocking with him. The Giants probably won't draft the quarterback. Merrill loves them bum Jones so much. I mean, they paid him so much money too, so you kind of handcuffed yourself. Like Della mentioned before, that was one of the worst things that could have happened to him was him taking them a little deeper in the playoffs. They're not too far from having a good team. Y'all got injury problems too. That's another thing. Y'all be having injuries like a motherfucker. But if y'all got that quarterback situation dialed in, y'all would be straight though, for real. You never heard anyone say that Edelman catch was the magnetic gloves? Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it, but you could. Now that I know what I know, you easily could say that. It's like the helmet catch by David Tyree. The Seahawks need to draft a quarterback. Damn, who on their roster? They got Drew Lock, and then they got Ripien, or however you say it, from the Rams. And Drew Lock ain't the solution. Because, Geno, he was out because of the elbow injury, but came in for that last drive. And when I saw him in there, I was like, oh, they finna move the ball a little bit. Like, they just didn't bring him in just so he could go, 3 and out and lose the game. Nah, they set up for the kicker to lose the game. Said Jared Goff or JW. Let's see. I know Ben Roethlisberger is. Makes sense why he didn't get in trouble for what he should have. Let's see his personal life. His dad, Jerry Goff, is a former Major League Baseball player. 2016 appeared on some TV show. Fast forward. He has an enzyme deficiency that does not allow his body to break down proteins. So he can't process red meat. No, I don't see anything about him being a JW. Born in California. Went to a Catholic high school. Yeah, I don't see anything about him being a JW. There's something there with the Browns, your dark horse. Been on them since week 2 and have called them to beat the Niners, Ravens, Steelers, and Broncos. I mean, that's cool. But the Browns ain't. Nah, they not going to no Super Bowl. If the NFL repeat the exact script that the other 3 pro teams will be, it'd be a new team. So versus a 7-seed playoff team. That's a pretty ugly, narrow field of teams is left. Because let's see, you got the. Let's see. Teams ain't one. Everybody in the AFC. Nope. Bills would be one. Browns, Cincinnati. Obviously not going to be Cincinnati. Jags, Texans. Highly doubt Texans. Titans not making the playoffs. Chargers looking ugly for them. Real ugly. Cardinals definitely not making it. Saints, actually no, every team. No, I take that back. The 2 teams, the Falcons and the Panthers, neither of them, not happening. Detroit, Minnesota have better chance to do so. Philly already won. Dallas already won one. Everybody in NFC East won one. So they would hope it would be the Lions if it was going to be a new team. With the red and white, Chiefs are red and white. They won it all on 322nd day left in the year, so the Chiefs wins the Skull and Bones ritual. That's kind of like the Ravens do. Our team always stay injured. It's always some big key injury to the Ravens every single year. No matter how good or how bad, there's always a key injury. I mean, Zach Wilson can't even backpedal without falling on his ass, man. I think that's the thing as bad as it gets, man. Let's say new quarterback replaced Dobbs for Super Bowl matchup. I guess you're saying Dobbs versus Patrick Mahomes. He said that was their Super Bowl. And Ben paid off. You can't rock with that. I can't rock what he did, period. Not the Lakers. I mean, there's scripting with the shit, like as far as how things are set up. Like, sure, we understand that it's scripted, but you still need to have a competent offensive line, a competent defense. You think you're going to win with the whole rookie team? Like, they really finna script a whole team full of rookies? Like, you got to factor in players going to have to pay their dues on top of that to win this shit. That's what people don't understand is like there's layers to this shit. It's not just all fake. No, motherfucker. There's like a business aspect of shit too. Like you think you can just call the same play in an entire game. You gonna win, even if it's scripted, you gonna win shit. Just calling literally the exact same play every single play. No. Regular Skull and Bones makes sense for a repeat. Last in the repeat. At divisional rival stadium was the Broncos. Yeah, that was their best chance. No. No, stop. It's like Hurts took Burrow's mantle by beating Mahomes and Arrowhead. Since Burrow was out, that's another reason why you chose the Eagles to win. No. I think it's either Lions and Niners this year, Eagles defense too suspect this year, or that the fact they don't want Jalen Hurts to go to back-to-back Super Bowls, which B. Fire explained as to why. Patrick Mahomes shares the same birthday as the NFL. NFL found out on September the 17th. Damn, that's my mom's birthday. That's crazy. She wasn't born in 1920, though. Nah, I wouldn't even be here if that was the case. The Vikings and Browns would be a great script. Guy that started with the Browns faces them in the Super Bowl. I mean, that was one of his teams. He started with the Steelers. Exactly. It's just like pro wrestling. You still got to do certain things technically right in the ring. If not, people gonna die. And you still have to construct a team and shit like that. A team that's gonna mesh well. That's what people don't fucking understand. Said Mahomes will go back, and they still ain't repaid that shit. That's facts. 81 Eagles went on Joe Biden's birthday, who was 81 and now is 82. This iteration of Joe Biden, at least. So do we think the Seahawks have any chance to beat the Niners? Wait till the picks come out on Thursday morning. You like the under the radar team? Yeah, I was like, did he say a team? Like who is that? People still get injured in sports. It's still dangerous. You have to have team chemistry as well. Exactly. But like I said, some people just assume everything about it is fake. Not anything about it is real whatsoever. And that nothing matters. You don't need to know how to go through progressions as a quarterback. You don't need to know how to, there's points. You still got to play football, motherfucker. Like, what are we talking about? You and your Oregon Ducks, man, I swear. Who do I think winning the Natty and why? Was rigged NFL. Vikings versus Chiefs could be the Super Bowl. I mean, like I said, they both still technically have a chance. I'd say it's more unlikely for the Vikings, though. When the Eagles have been 8-1, they always go 9-1. 2017 and now 2022, same thing happened for the 2023 game to go 9-1 again for the third team in the past 6 seasons. Same script every year. Exactly. But some people, yeah, like I said, some people don't really understand it with the different layers and shit like that. That's why they just jump out the window and say shit like that. So if Georgia 3-peats, it comes the first team 3-peats narrative is far-fetched. Yeah, they tried it with USC years ago, and Texas ended that shit. So, like I said earlier, I think Georgia gonna lose the game to somebody. I'm not gonna say who, but somebody. A very familiar face. I'll just leave it at that. Fuck was that? I don't know. Alright, man, be easy. Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here myself. Gotta clean up the crib a little bit. I got a pack too. Say go G, man. Alright, man, for sure. That scripts points to only certain teams making the Super Bowl. Last year was first Super Bowl with 2 black quarterbacks, even though they ain't really black. I mean, Jalen Hurts has both black parents. He just light skinned. Alright, man, be easy. That's funny. So the Eagles fall to 8-2. Correction, 9-1. 9-1. All right, it's the last one before I get up out of here. What game was it or moment that made me first realize the league was scripted and rigged as fuck? The first one really where I just like questioned some shit was when the lights went out when the Ravens and the Niners played in the Super Bowl. Like when the Ravens had all the momentum, lights magically go off, and I knew at that moment the Niners were gonna come back. And make the game close. Still thought the Ravens gonna win. But that was the one I was like, all right, man, there's some funny business going on. But the one I really started questioning shit was the combination of the Rams and Saints with the missed PI and how the Chiefs should have won that game but ended up losing to the Patriots, and the Patriots got to yet another Super Bowl. And it made me question, why the hell is Tom Brady always finding a way to get to a Super Bowl? And then did some digging and it's like, makes sense. But yeah, man, that has been week 11 NFL rig recap. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Everybody travel safe. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving. All that good shit. We out.